Hi, everyone. We're live here on the Insomnia chat. I'm going to give just another minute or two here for anybody to join in. So, all right, just take 1 second. All right, let's get going. So, the way we do this stream is we look at sometimes there's issues or other things that are on top of mind that are important for us or maybe important for the open source community. And the way that we're going to start today is by looking at some of the things that are tagged with this Insomnia stream tag on GitHub. So we have these three things here. Fixed request switcher selection we looked at last week. This is in process of being reviewed. So I reviewed it, but some of my colleagues are reviewing it. So that one's all good. We have this one here, Postman import auth headers from URL parts. We might work on this one. We did look at it in the past, but there are some tests that need to be written, and this is always a good thing to look into or talk about, the tests. Then we have this ignoring circular references to prevent a stack overflow. This one has not been looked at, as far as I know, anyway. Yeah, Philippe looked at it, but we could stand to look at it a little more. So I think maybe we'll start with this one, and then we can come back to the Postman import. The rule we have, if anyone shows up on stream or would like to come on stream and there's a particular issue, even if there's not a GitHub issue or a pull request for it, if there's a particular thing you'd like to talk about or work on, then we will, we'll go from there. So cool. Let's get started. So this one, ignoring circular references to prevent stack overflow while importing API specs. So we hit this problem sometimes if you have tried to import something from code. So let's see. Insomnia Importers is a package of ours. It uses a recursive approach to generate sample patterns for requests. Swagger parser does not ignore the circular references and includes them in the final object. Okay, which is then processed by this example. So here's some examples to test. Let's first of all go grab this code. So this is Mr. Snick's bug call stack size. Okay, so ignore here. We can search in Gitkraken. Let me make this a little bigger if I can. I think this is as big as it gets. Ignore. Here we are. Okay, so I can check out this one. It'd be cool to know if this rebases. So let's try to solo this. We'll solo this and we'll solo origin develop, those two, and we'll see if we can get a rebase to happen. You never know. It's always good when testing things. I feel like to it's been rebased quite a few times, or it's been merged quite a few times. I see. Um, so where is it? Where does it start? Here. Bye bye circular refs. Okay, that looks like the one. So there are 9 commits, but these are all merge commits. So we can get rid of those merge commits, live a different lifestyle. I think. Let's hard reset to here. So we're on there, and then I'm gonna pull up here to develop and rebase like that. Rebase that one commit, and we're good. That's always great news. Okay. So I'm gonna push this, and let's make sure we didn't miss anything. It really is just that. So I'm gonna push this here, and we're gonna push it to Mr. Snicks's fork. That's fine. We got a force push in this case because we rebased. All right, we can stop soloing now for a minute. So let's look at the code. It was a cast before as an open API document. We kept that cast, and then we have this dereference circular ignore. So swagger parser dot validate. So okay, this could be pretty simple. Let's test with these before. So I will check out the commit on develop, and we'll run a. Probably should have done this in the background. So by the way, it's linked on the Insomnia Slack. If you'd like to join in this live share, even if you're just watching around, you're welcome to do that. So I'm going to hard reset here. I'll show you what that is. Hard reset's a command we have built into our project that we use when we're moving around a lot. It's not strictly necessary most of the time, but it's a nice insurance policy. So it'll run this clean command. The clean command these are all Lerna commands, but it goes into each module or each package, and it looks for that clean command. It'll run it, and if it sees it. So, oops. So let's go to inso as an example. So here is we're in the middle of a Lerna step, so it does these Lerna backups. Let's see if the app one is ready for us to look at. So Lerna removes, you can actually see it and get cracking while you're running here. Lerna removes, it changes everything to tabs, which I don't know why, and then it removes all the scripts while you're running. See, it removes it just temporarily. So when Lerna finishes, actually we could just look at the diff here. So we have this clean, and the clean runs TSC, passing this clean command. So it basically deletes anything that was built. And the clean command also will remove, as a Lerna thing, will remove all of the node modules folders, like fully delete them, which is good. Sometimes there's problems, or sometimes things don't match up quite the right way if you're moving between branches, or if you stop the execution of an install and then start another one. It might think that things are in a different place than they're really in. So it can be very helpful. Cool. So then from there, we're going to get that started. And so let's pull up these examples. These look like pretty useful ones. Oh, and they're downloading. Okay, that's fine. Can I open it? I can open it here. Swagger. Let's open this one. This is the Open API. And then we have this JetBrains one. So we'll test with all 3 of these. I wonder what it is that makes it end up being circular. I guess because there's parent IDs and child IDs that are getting linked to each other some way. It'd be nice to have like a minimal, this is a super long file, but it'd be nice to have a minimal test case of what, see, this one's super long and this one's super long too, but that's okay. We can get past this. Philippe has already approved this and tested it locally. So that's really good news. That means that we'll be able to merge this here and now. We have a rule that we try to follow, that for PRs like this, we have 2 people from the team reviewing them. So right now, there's already the one. Hey, Jack, how's it going?
Yo, you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm looking at this. We started on this one that had been tagged a little while ago. Pretty easy one, actually. Very small change. There's this Open API or the Swagger parser validate function, way to dereference circular, like to ignore circular referencing, which is kind of cool that it's just built in like that. So Mr. Snicks put up a PR. We're gonna try these 3. It should be good. Oh, we got a party. Hey, Philippe.
Yo.
Hello.
So you've seen this one. I think you reviewed it. I'm just taking a look here at this. And okay, so we see we got my control key not working. Okay, so let's go to the design tab here. Actually, I'll just make a new one. I'm always destroying things, so why not just keep the tradition rolling? So I'm going to so we're right on develop right now. I'm going to create a design document, and then I'm going to grab this guy and put it here. This is the swagger.json. Oh, yeah, it takes a while. So does it take time for this to happen? Do you remember, Philippe, if it takes like...
I was muted. So I think for that PR, usually it wouldn't even load up. I think you would just get the error. I'm not sure if you're running Insomnia from the branch of the
No,
PR.
I'm not. I'm running it from... I want to make sure that that the bug actually occurs for me.
Try to import not from copy paste. Try to import from...
Oh, okay.
From the creating a new document from the dashboard. I think.
Well,
I think
I guess
that was the trick.
I guess we have another thing. If you copy and paste it, it says I got a MP Insomnia became unresponsive.
Yeah.
Actually, we can just do this. We can just run right off of... I think I recently installed the latest release. What was 2022? Yeah. So okay, so I'm going to create a new document, or you're saying do it straight from the dashboard? Is that what you're saying? So file, and then what is it called? Downloads. Did it go to my downloads? And no, into my desktop. I don't see
That was what I was saying. Try
Swagger
from the downloads.
JSON.text. Okay, here's the Swagger JSON.text one. Does not contain a valid specification. Maximum call stack exceeded. Okay, fine.
So now you're reproducing, I think, the error that in the PR.
Okay, cool.
The contributor saying
I want to try it with this one too. Same thing. I can do it for my clipboard. That's easier. And then let's go to here. And I don't think I have a little extension on that adds. Maybe we can do raw. I don't want it to like add any characters with that stuff. I don't know what it does. Okay, great. So that's on. We'll table that. I'm gonna just pull that to the side. Let's start the app up. Actually, stop. Let's go to that commit. I rebased the commit just a second ago. We don't need these changes. So here it is. Okay, now we can start. So that'll be cool actually, because that the way that I instinctively did it, instinctually, is it instinctively or instinctually?
Instinctively, I think.
Okay. Well, let us know in the comments. You figure out which one it is. But my instinct was to use the just to paste it right there into the code editor, and that crashed the app, or it caused it to be unresponsive, which is worse actually than getting that maximum call stack error. So maybe that's cool if this solves that problem too. We'll try the happy path first. We'll try the three cases that we were looking at a moment ago. We're still starting. So I have them here: Open API, Swagger, and then the JetBrains one. Let me see, make sure I have that in my clipboard. Copy. All right. So I'll come over here to the dashboard, and I'm going to do import from clipboard. Doesn't work. Let's try one of these other ones. Copy from clipboard. Doesn't work. So I wonder if this is maybe as a result of me rebasing it. That's the next thing we'll try to figure out, because it did work for you, right, Philippe?
He's just nipped out.
Hmm?
He's just handling something.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, so let's push. Oh, well, I pushed it, didn't I? I'm a bad boy. Let's go here and import from file and see if we can get here. This one does not contain, so maximum call stack exceeded. Let's make sure that code is really there. What's the name of this file? Like that I didn't screw something up. I do have 2 Insomnias open right now. Yeah. What is this got? Okay, so let's go to, what's the file in question? Open API 3. Yeah, sounds right. Guys with the dash. Importers. Oh. There. Dereference, circular, ignore. So it's definitely there. I didn't change anything about that. We just added that one line. So I don't think anything has changed in the meantime. And we are in, yeah, we are running. Well, I guess we'll have to come back to it. It's not reproducible right now. Before, after. Where does it look like he imported from? Oh, he's probably using a light theme. I'm just thinking like maybe there's another path for importing. Let's go from they all should follow the same thing here, but let's try to do this. Yeah. Maximum call stack does not contain valid specification. Okay. Well, we'll return to it, I think. Let me type up here. Take another look. All right. What do you have on your mind, Jack? Wasn't there something you were saying we should look at?
Yeah, we got getting some flake in a couple of tests. One of them's to do with heart export.
Ah, yes.
The other one is, let me find it.
Hey, Philippe, just to close the loop for you, we weren't able to reproduce it.
Really?
Really? Yeah, I don't know why. I still have it open in case you think of something, but yeah, same thing happens here. I don't know.
That's odd. But from you mean working from the branch of the PR, right?
Yes.
That's odd.
Yep, it's here. This is the code. Let me make it a little bigger. I'm not sure exactly why. Here, let's try one last time.
So wait, you're not able to reproduce? You mean the fix or the?
Yeah. I get the call stack error.
That's odd.
Sure
Because
is.
when I remember when testing this, indeed I was able to reproduce the fix. That's what I mean. So maybe something changed in between.
Let's try one more time. Clipboard. Yeah. I did rebase it, but there's like very little of I mean, there's nothing here that I can imagine had any conflict with anything. Did we? Let's look at our. Do I have my Git extension open here? I like to look at that GitHub history thing for this. Let's look at this file. Like one more quick thing. API -3. It's -3. Yes. History. So fix importer test fixtures. So we got some stuff there. Can you guys see? It's probably too small. Redirect URL. Really nothing. Mr. Snicks was also the last person to be in this file. For those that don't know, Mr. Snicks is one of our most cherished contributors. Does a lot of great stuff. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is that plain object thing we got going here. I remember this. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened here, but okay. Well, we'll dig in and take a look. I think we can switch gears. You guys agree?
Yeah, sure.
So let's table this one for just a moment, and let's talk about this is a different PR. Let's talk about the har import problem. So do we know of one? Let's see if we can find a place where that has flaked. I think I have a link. Let me look off screen here. Har. Oh, it's har export. Okay, tomato. So here on this branch, I wish it took you down to where the failure is, but anyway. Okay. So here we are. Is this big enough? Let's make it a little bigger. So timeout async callback was not invoked within the 5-second timeout specified. Yes. Export har, it exports a single request. So let's go to this. I don't need regex on. And let's put ourselves in develop, by the way. Oh, something just merged. That's nice. Oh yeah, you reviewed that. You reviewed that one, Philippe. Thank you for reviewing that. Okay, exports a single. Ooh, where's this? Exports single. Okay, exports single requests. So here we are. So we create a workspace. We create a request. All good. I think this is more creating the request stuff. I don't know why we have models that request twice. Okay, so that's fine. We have this. Have you guys looked at this yet, or am I rambling?
I had a look inside of the function itself, and saw
Okay.
that it was touching the Nunjux rendering, but beyond that, I didn't go any further.
Okay. So exports. So where exactly did it? What is there? Oh, it hung right at the beginning. What?
Oh, that's a separate test. This one here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it hung here. That's super weird. So it hung before it did anything. I don't understand.
The other one hangs on an assertion of the response body where it's supposed to have a time of like 999 or something in it, and instead it has either 0 or -1. I forget.
So
Yeah, size 0, size 15.
it's kind of hard to read, but okay.
Timings,
I
wait.
see what you mean. So expect to match object. So this is a different test. So these are both failing. Oh, and then does it show us 2 failed down here?
That HTTP stat.us, is that like placeholder text, or is that really something, the URL?
Stats, HTTP. What are you looking for?
So HTTP stats.us.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Good
Give
question.
it a try.
Apparently not. Maybe this doesn't have great uptime. I didn't realize it was making an actual network request. Is it making an actual?
Is it
Well, it
that was
shouldn't be.
my
It seems
point.
like it's pushing stuff into the database. Then it's running a function and checking the function, given that database context, has an output, which
What?
is not ideal because ideally it shouldn't touch the database at all. But we have to work with what we got.
Yeah, I don't get why this has to be. It's always a smell to me when something like converting one data structure to another has to be async. So export requests I don't know what an export request is here. Request ID, environment ID, and response ID. Okay, sure. Oh, so this does the models get right by ID. Okay, so this goes and gets it. We don't pass it as data. That's too bad. I guess it's a convenience thing, but
It wouldn't be terribly difficult to split that function into something that fetches that we don't test, that just returns the outcome of those IDs. And then we pass our kind of like invented fake outcome into this test, so that we're actually just testing the function itself and not the database. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dependency inject it.
I mean, yeah, sort of. And that would at least eliminate the possibility of models causing the problem, but there's still other things that could cause it. Well, not
What I want to
models,
know
but
is
the database.
where's the logic that actually does the stuff, that does the conversion. Where is that? I think it's got to be an Insomnia importers, right? That's my understanding how this is all working. Export har. So this is given a set of export requests. So given a set of requests, so make a workspace, make request one. Yeah.
Set
So
request. Does that mean you can export a chained request? I didn't anticipate that.
you want to try?
Well, looking at the code, it seems like it probably only supports one.
No, it supports multiple. That's why it's an array.
And what? Sorry, what does export request take again? Is it request ID or
It's
is it
just some IDs and request ID, environment ID,
response?
response ID. I don't know what response ID is, but
Why
anyway.
response ID is what gets put in the database after the request response. I'm not sure how that's relevant to the generation of a har though.
Let's look. Request ID, response ID, response. Har response, export har response. So if not response, return this. Otherwise, return status, text, cookies, headers, content. I guess the har format contains this.
Okay. Just to clarify things, when we're talking about hars, what in the app are we specifically talking about? My first assumption was we were talking about the export to different languages thing.
Oh
Feature.
no, it's not that. So okay, let me show you. That's good. Let's do this. Mock bin.
We're talking about the raw hars that you can see in the network tabbing DevTools, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like a
yeah.
where does it even? I don't remember where it is that we even can get it. Let's make this bigger. So header cookie timeline. Oh, for Pete's sake, where is it now?
Is it on the settings menu? No.
It's
If
in
you go into
preview.
settings.
Click on preview and then go export.
There it
har.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been hit by that before where I can't find that actions menu because it doesn't make sense to me to be there. Any case, copy raw, export
Yeah.
HTTP, and export as har. So yeah, we can send this here to our that just landed in my source code, but that's no problem. So here's a JSON. Here's a JSON value.
That's how you get the response of the har. But
Okay,
how do you get the request of the har?
let's do this. So now I'm going to do export as har again. And is it going to be the same? No, it's different. Okay, great. So then, where is it? Here?
So the har is going to have both the request and the response in it?
Yeah, I think. Response.
Yeah, response. Okay, so what's above that is the request. Cool. What about if you chain a request to another request? What's going to happen?
Yeah, I would love to see that. Let's do request 2, and then we're gonna do. Sorry, I'm having some construction here. I'm gonna mute myself for a second.
I find a nice way to demo this feature is to oh, you're using Echo, okay. I was going to say using setting a header with a chained value is quite nice, but also Echo servers with a chained value is nice too. You need a $sign.
What? Yeah, wait, why is that? Oh, because I need a $sign? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. There we go, true. Okay, so, and then I need to close this off. There. Okay, so now we're gonna do export as har. We have, it ends in 6.9. Nice. Then we got this one, 6.9. Okay, let's see. So response
Try folding the JSON.
it doesn't fold from this view. I can just look
Oh.
at it. I don't know why I'm looking at a
That-
diff editor like a Neanderthal.
I always do that too.
Yeah. Okay. So it does not contain the chained.
Okay. It just
So
has the request you actually sent.
the thing. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that makes sense. Note that it wouldn't contain the other request, because
Right.
at the end, when you're exporting as a har, you're just exporting that result, so to speak.
Yeah, that makes sense. The result of making the request. What's the problem here?
Have a look in the timeline. I'm pretty sure we don't. Do we
No.
see the first request? We just see the last request. Okay.
You see the last one.
Yeah. Okay. If it's a redirect, though, we do see both of them.
Never resend. Always resend. Always. These seem this language seems contradictory to me. It says always, and then it says resend when needed. Is that always or anyway? Okay. That aside, yeah, it's sending it every time now. And then if I come over here and I say, if I do that, then send it again, it's gonna change.
Cool.
We have a message in the chat to view it in the browser. I think the har file on the browser.
Okay. Oh yeah. All right, let's do that. I think I can. Can I drag from here? I hope so. Nope. Let me go grab it. Did it go to my? Oh, it went to the Insomnia. Right to my thing. Let's see. GitHub, Kong, Insomnia. I mean, I can show this part here. Where did it go? Let's go back here. Requests. It's inside Insomnia app. Okay, I don't know why it would go there. It did. Packages, Insomnia app. Let's do.
I think it's because you're running the Bootstrap one, right? The App Start one.
I don't actually know. I'm not sure how to say your name. Robinton. Rowan. Rowan. Do you know how to? Does anyone know how to? I've never imported it in the browser. Here it is. Import har file. Okay, I'll take that. That's my startup file, but that's fine. Let's grab this. That, and then can I paste it here? Okay, good. Then there's this one. Echo. There we go. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, I've definitely seen this export. I'd be curious to know. This is like now we're getting like really distracted here. Save all as har with content. I'd be curious to know if this is like a completely. Yeah, I think that's the button I click, the import button here. Yep. Downloads. Okay, let's just put it on. Where were we before? Right here. Why not? I'd be curious to know what the difference is between these two. So I'm gonna like do the thing very dirty here. I'm gonna make a different branch because I'm always paranoid about pushing to test 2. Always paranoid about pushing to develop accidentally, but I'm gonna stage I'm going to commit this stuff just for a second. And then let's grab this, copy it, and let's throw it in here. This is the one. I want to see if there's any difference. So let's look at the diff. Is there anything that Chrome? Yeah, there's a bunch of things. Are these just? Yeah, there's a bunch of things that are different. Well, anyway, I think some of these are fine. The name being different and the version, that makes sense. But custom is there in all cases. The time would make sense to be different. Server IP address, that's interesting. We're missing that. Body size negative. Oh yeah, that's just a trailing comma. Transfer size errors, cookies. So cookies we had, it just changed position, so that's fine. HTTP in ours was uppercase, but in Chrome it's lowercase. I wonder if that's a standard that we're not following. Okay, well, thank you for entertaining that digression. I was kind of curious.
So the test outputs appear to be, in most cases, timing out. There's also another test that hits hars that times out related to plugins, but it matches the first case where it times out after 5 seconds. The second test that failed in that output you saw earlier was it responds, but with data that looks like it took as long as it should, longer than it should take. I mean, which is the desired here? Is the wait 999, or I forget which one's which. Expected is the minus, so we're expecting 15, we're getting 0. So we're getting an empty. So we're getting something, but it's empty. Yeah, status 0. So it's like falling back to the defaults. So perhaps there's some code in here where we can see.
Yeah, that's a good observation. So that's this. Where are we in the code? It's falling back. You're exactly right. I would not have noticed that. 999. Is that a thing somewhere? No.
0.
We're doing Open API 3.
Yeah.
We're in the wrong file. Zero.
You were on it a second ago.
I was?
Yeah, you scrolled past it. There's like one function which sets all the defaults. I think
Here.
it's near here. There you go. Yeah, you got it. So that's the return. So response is null in this case. So if we follow how we got here, we might find why response is null.
Response being passed is null.
It's coming from the database. It's a race condition, surely. Models.response.get latest for request is expecting to have a value when it was only just set, perhaps? Because it's set in the setup of the test, right?
Yeah.
So the easy win here is to separate the functions, and like you say, inject the state that we want.
Yes, to make it so that the thing that does the importing and exporting doesn't
make the unit test a unit test.
Does that solve the problem though? Because then we would still be. I guess it would push it to a different. That would push the problem around to a place where we can look at it a lot easier.
True. It would definitely solve the second test fail, and it would probably help with the timeouts. A likely case for timeout is if it's stuck or waiting for something to be truthy that's falsy. I don't know the intricacies of how NEDB work, but it's possible that race conditions can cause it to hang.
Yes, I think the way that it works is that we have to wait for it to write to disk. Before we I mean, the way we have it set up, like let's just look real quick. This is going to get hairy very immediately, but like let's just create passes through db.create, which passes through init model, which passes through database.insert. So it's going to try if it hasn't been initialized, Otherwise, it's going to insert one or more documents. Who wants to bet they have? No. My keyboard is F key on my keyboard is not working. Okay, inserting documents. No, they don't say anything about transform. So we have serialization stuff for writing to disk, and then yeah. So I'm not entirely sure we're gonna get to the bottom of that right here now, but it doesn't. Okay, so while I close tabs, do we agree that it's not calling http stat.us? It seems like it would not be doing that based on the code that I saw. But if it is, then we really want to know about it because that could like really change things. Feel free to hop on this live share, guys, by the way, because I know I'm like zoomed in. It's linked in the Insomnia Slack and the community Slack. So the next step for debugging this, let's open up that error again. Where is it? Is it here? Oh no. Let me grab it. So the next step for debugging this is to take the, yeah, it is falling back on the defaults, is to take that stuff out of what function? Export har. So let's try to do that real quick. Agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just trying to like rationalize the problem a second. Export har. Export har shouldn't have a guard that returns fallbacks because it doesn't make any sense. If there's a case where the har has no response because it hasn't been called yet, it should just have the request in the har. There shouldn't be fallback stuff in there, right? I mean, even if it was an error, is an error? I know like a 400 is a valid har, but a thrown exception is not a valid har. So that returning a guard seems to only be there to satisfy the test case, which is failing. Do you know what I mean? So maybe we can think about it from like a design of how the function works.
Are you talking about for the request or for the response?
I'm talking about for the response. That's the one we're currently looking at, right? Because we're not sure exactly what's timing out. It's likely to be database, but it could also be nunchucks. But what we can fix is this guard that falls over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem to be pushing. It doesn't seem to be pushing the entry unless both the request and the response are there. But you're saying if one or the other is not there, then it should just.
In fact, you can clarify this by opening up Chrome and hitting an invalid URL, and then looking at the har that is exported to see what's inside.
All right, let's do that. Let's hope that's not a real URL. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. So then we can export har from there. We can also do it save all as har. I wonder what the difference is between save all as har and export har. Well, anyway,
everything in the requests.
I'm gonna do both. Okay, so we can look over her, and then we can see, where is it? Insomnia app. It's gonna be, I gotta collapse node modules. Is it the same number of lines? Do I have a line count here? 80. Yeah, it's the same thing. So
it has a request section. It should not have a response section.
It does.
Oh, it also has an empty box. Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, we've challenged it at least.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I suppose that sort of makes sense. Like there was a response.
Yeah. Would be nice if it also had the message. Like that one had the error aborted message, I think.
Let's look.
What does ours
Error
have?
aborted. Yeah.
That would sort of help when it came to debugging.
Was it there and we missed it? Let's look. Error.
No, I don't think
Where does it show up in the response? Okay.
in the guard.
Oh, if we put it in the guard or in the fallback,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
it's not a bad idea. Yeah. Yeah, let's look into that. Okay, export har response. So this doesn't have error here anywhere. I wonder, is anything using this code, by the way, aside from this one function? No. This and the tests. Okay, that's nice. Gets the blast radius down a little bit. So this never throws. So if there's no response, why do we even try? Like, how could it happen? What I would like
This
to
doesn't need to be awaited, does it? This function.
Get response cookies.
Oh, those maybe do, but
No, they're
but
not.
then
They're not.
okay.
No. So let's undo that real quick. Sometimes I wonder some of this stuff was okay. So this doesn't need to be awaited. But my question is, there seems to be no situation in which this code path could be hit. Because it
Correct.
returns an object one way or the other, and the object is truthy. So I wonder if this is like a
It's
I wonder if
removable.
this was supposed to say response. See what I mean? And then maybe it would be like here.
Above.
There's no response, then but
The
then again,
response
if there's
would
no
be
response,
undefined, wouldn't it?
the default, like I guess there would never be no
Yeah,
response.
you kind of want the fallback to appear if response is doesn't exist.
Yeah. So I don't think there's any situation in which this is the
It's just the fallback is inside here, isn't it? Okay, yeah, that's fine.
let's inline this too to make it easier to see what's going on. I wonder why we can't do the same thing here. So let's look at this one. Let's take the same scrutiny to this. So if there's an error, okay, so this one will actually throw, and it is actually async, which is a different situation. So get rendered request and context, apply request plugin hooks. Okay, that makes sense. We need to do that. Export har with rendered request. So this is probably the one that does the actual
Timeout.
yeah. Get auth header. So what can this return? This can never be. Oh, I guess this could throw, which would bubble up. It's not try catched, so okay, it would bubble up. Okay, I was gonna say like, how could this ever? This can't throw, but these two could. Okay, well, whatever. We're coming up. We only have 10 minutes left, so let's see if there's something we can do to get out of this, or get something we can get out of this. I suppose is what I meant to say. I feel like I learned something, if nothing else. The request is null, return null from export har request.
I think a possible takeaway we could make at this point is the code which is blocking could be extracted such that the unit test is testing, is separating these chains of async requests so that it's just testing the logic we've actually written and not a combination of functions together. So after the plugin hooks are applied, after the request is rendered, we extract the function at that point and then try to use the test to cover that function. And that way, we are eliminating concurrency from the testing. The same way we would do if we remove the database from the other test.
I see what you mean, and if we do it that way, maybe we wouldn't have to remove the database. Maybe we would be able to uncover it.
Yeah, maybe you don't actually have to remove the database. You just need to extract what comes after the database to a separate function and then change the test to point at that new function.
Yeah, because we don't really want to test like database update logic in the case in
Definitely
the
not.
yeah. This is just supposed to be like you can export hot response.
Hmm.
Oh, it's not
Yeah.
async.
Well, one of the other cool things it does is it allows us to whittle down exactly what we're injecting into the test and into the follow-up function. In many cases, we're using an ID, fetching a document from the database that contains loads and loads of fields, and then we're just using one of them. And that could be one of these cases too.
Mm-hmm.
And we can maybe type that more specifically to exactly what we're using.
Gotcha. Yeah. And then yeah, I see. Get by ID could return a null. So we still I noticed on top of that, we still could have the request being null, which I think is actually still invalid. I mean, we try to get out of the case up here, but
Hmm.
both of these get by ID and
I think Dimitri might have a problem with this connection.
Yeah. Well, I need to drop now. We'll pick this up later.
Folks, I think whoever's still watching the stream, I think Dimitri's connection went down. So in any case, that should wrap the stream for today. Thank you.
are we back? Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Well, we're almost at time anyway. Um, thank you. Some people chatted me on the Insomnia chat to tell me that the stream went down. I'm so happy that you guys were watching. I hope that something of value came from this. As a reminder, we do this every Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Daylight savings right now, so it's a little weird in Europe, but in 2 weeks or one more week, I think from now, Europe and the US will sync back up. There's like a 2 week gap there. But please tune in next week. If you have any ideas or questions or thoughts or anything like that you'd like to know or talk about Insomnia, please come on. You're welcome. And or or not. So it's cool too. Hang out on the chat on the Insomnia chat. Let me put that up here on the screen. And yeah, we'll see everyone next week. And submit PRs. They'll definitely get reviewed on the stream if you do so. So thank you. Bye everyone.